Welcome back to Sampstra Games, the place to find new strategy games, and today we're gonna play Shapes.io. It's kind of like a minimalistic Factorio, I guess. So let's start a brand new game. This game is really cool. Now I gotta admit, the first time I saw the game I didn't think much of it, but then I saw other people's let's play on it and I was immediately thought, I was like, this is amazing. Okay, so what we gotta do is we gotta pick these shapes and we gotta move them into this sort of like a delivery station. So first thing that you're going to place is an extractor, and this will extract from this, I guess you could imagine like a mine or something, these particular circular shapes. And then we're going to have conveyor belts, which are going to move it to the delivery station. You cannot converge conveyor belts yet. If I do it like this, it's not going to connect up, but we're going to get later mergers which we can use. Now you might notice that it's kind of slow at the moment. That's alright. We're gonna find upgrades very soon which will allow us to speed it up, and then the speeds can get pretty insane over time. It's really cool. But at the moment our goal is just to deliver 40 of these, so we're just going to try that. Nothing too stressed about it, just get a little bit of these, and then we are going to get some good stuff. We're going to unlock the next level. We just unlocked the cutter. It cuts shapes half from the top to bottom regardless of its orientation. Be sure to get it off the waste or otherwise it will stall. For this purpose I gave you a trash. Thank you. Which destroys everything you put into it. Alright, so now we have to do half shapes. So we're going to place a cutter here that's going to split this. Actually, we should be removing one of these. I mean, we didn't really need to, but we're going to do it anyway. So we're going to place two cutters, like so. No, like that, let's say. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a second path like this. And we're going to have like a top and bottom halves. Now you might say, well, it doesn't want your bottom half, so you should use the trash. Well, I'm going to show you the trash. We can use it like this if you wanted to. But we're not going to. Because I know what the game will want next. Is it the bottom halves? No, it's not. Well, then why are we putting them in? Well, because once we unlock this, we're going to gain upgrades. And for the upgrades, you're going to need all sorts of different unusual shapes. And it will count them as you sort of deliver them. And if you have enough of them, you will get a bonus. So that's why, for example, I'm leaving some regular circles there, because we're going to need them later. So this is something that's like a good idea, is like to have some sort of leftover production around so that you could get the upgrades a little bit faster. This level gave you no reward, but the next one will. Better than destroy your existing factory. Need all those shapes later again to unlock upgrades. Yeah, so this is gonna show us the upgrades. Let me show you. So we need full circles and squares and these special shapes that we're not ready to do. Later you can do painting, we can't do that quite yet. But this will unlock as a bonus. So for example, if we put out 150 circles, currently we've put out 119, we will increase the speed of the conveyor belts. So the main task right now is to, actually I'm just going to go to the left, that's a good idea. I'm just going to do the squares. Just going to do 4 of those, like the game wants me to. And in the meantime, we're going to keep providing circles. What is it in the upgrades? Sorry, so here you can actually see the statistics or what you have delivered so far. We just want a full circle. We'll see what it will want after, because there might be some interesting other things that we want. So I don't want to destroy the cutters just yet. It does, however, bother me that we're not using this thing in the middle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do it like this, and then this one, the full circle one, is gonna go around. Because otherwise it looks weird that like this thing in the middle is being unused. I don't like that. Remove that though. Right, so we need 100 of these, and we need... How many more circles do we need? 13 more. I am considering maybe like adding... I don't know if it's worth it though. Yeah, let's add one more set of these. Just do it a bit nicer. There is no cost here, so you don't have to worry about like losing money or things like that. in regards to building too many things, so you can always like rebuild, improve, and things like that. The multifunctional balancer has been unlocked. It can be used to build bigger factories by splitting and merging items onto multiple belts. So, for example, we can see here that we're not really utilizing the belts. We have a lot of space in between. So what I'm just going to place a merger here, and then I'm going to remove this, and then both of these parts, okay, let me do it again. Both of these parts are going to jump on the same belt, and now this belt is going to be a bit more filled up. But you can see there's still a lot of space in between. So what we could do is we could try to do some more merging. For example, if I were to place a cutter like this, and then have a merger. Okay, we'll do it a bit differently. We'll place a merger here, and then a secondary merger like that, and then we'll go this way. And now we're going to have all of our cut things going in the same direction. Oh, the cutter has to go from the left, not from the right. Okay. That's a bit of a problem. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna redo this. Okay, let me just remove that. We're gonna go from the beginning. So first of all, we're gonna use get more circles here. So we're going to place a couple of mergers, one like this and one like this. And now all of these are going to move the circles onto this belt. So we're gonna get a lot of circles. Then we're going to use the upgrade to make our belts faster, and you can see the speed is increasing significantly. And now we're going to do this cut it things. We can actually do the right ones, but we'll do the other ones because I want to show it off. So we're going to place a cutter like this, and another cutter like that. We're going to merge it up, and then we're going to place a merger here that would merge these two together. I think that works. We're gonna have to check it. Yeah, this works. And then we're gonna have an additional merger like that. Yes. So now all of these half thingies. Oh no, it doesn't work. Okay. One more attempt. I promise it will work out at some point. Alright, now this works. Actually, that's too much on that belt. No, it's going okay. It's just a back up there. Alright, but we gotta do half squares. So, but first of all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna merge all of these into one big setup, because I do want to utilize these. Actually, we might be able to utilize it like this a bit better. So let's start with the mergers. We're gonna merge these two and then these two, and then we're gonna merge them all together. And then we're going to use this connection to go down to the furthest thing, and then we're going to do another setup here with the cutting. So we're just going to go like so, and we're going to use a cutter like, oh yeah, actually 4 might be too much for cutting. Okay, one more time. So let's start it from the other end. So we're going to merge it here. No. Okay. We're gonna go down to this. No, we're gonna go to that side. We're gonna merge it like this. Then we're gonna go here to the end, let's say. Oh, that's kind of ridiculous. I should have been cutting this part, but you know, whatever. Or you know what? I could just do it like this. This is going down there, and then we can use. Then we have space if you want to have a different setup from over here. Now we're going to use a merger that's going to merge everything like that. Go into here. Then behind that we should have a cutter that puts one part into these two. And then we could possibly have another cutter over here and then merge it immediately. And then potentially even merge it like this. And we're gonna go from this merge into there, so that's done. And then all we have to do, we actually have a splitter too. So what we could do is we could actually just place this from one of these, and we could use this as a splitter to split it into the two different... No, actually we don't need that because it's just going in one way in. Okay. Unless, do we think we could handle more output? Because if I place a merger here and this thing in there, it will have twice, it should have twice as much of these cutted things as the original one because it's merged. Yeah, we'll do that here as well. Alright. So that's done. So we have our cutted things. Oh, I messed this one up. Happens sometimes. So we're putting regular squares and the cutted squares. Now later on we're going to get things like rotators to allow us to rotate this and, for example, do this half shape that we wanted to. Now we can increase the extraction speed. So that means that we're going to get them faster from these, I guess, mines. I don't really know how to call them. So that's going to be cool. Not only are the belts faster, but extraction is faster as well. I'd actually put one more into this belt now that I'm looking at it. Do we want to? Maybe we could. To merge it like there. Put an extractor this way. And add a conveyor belt like so. Yeah, now this is filled up. That's nice. I like that. Seems to be a backlog here with the, yeah, the cutter, because the belt is very fast and the cutter not so much. So we could potentially try to split this into a secondary cutter. But the cutter is opening a bit differently. Okay, so we're just gonna have to put it like that into the cutter, then a secondary merger, and maybe a final merger like this. No, that's not what I meant, sorry. I like that. And this should increase the speed, because with the increased speed extraction, we were waiting a lot of time. So this thing is actually a bit stuck there, but I think it's okay. Okay, so now we've got the rotator. So now we can rotate stuff. It's also showing us some key bindings, but I don't think we need to worry about that. But yeah, what they want us to do now is this top half. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to rotate these. Okay. Apparently it's like, nope. And now we get a top. We get top and bottom halves because we're alternating. Again, the rotator is fairly slow. So you can see that this is giving us a bit of a backlog, especially it's because we have a lot of things on this. So I actually might do this. I might actually let them go in two different ways. So now, because there are two outputs for the merger, it's not actually splitting it as much, or it's splitting it evenly between the two belts. And this is good for us because we get that faster throughput. Otherwise, we would kind of get stuck a little bit on the rotator, and I don't want that to happen. So yeah, we're still putting some of the bottom halves, which actually we do care about over here. Actually, that's not half bad. They also want us this, just like a tiny quarter piece, I guess. So we might want to get working on that. Might want to create an instruction in this direction. Okay, let's do it. We're gonna go from... I think we're gonna go from two different setups. So we're gonna start off with the cutter, first cutter. And a second cutter. Actually, no, we should have been splitting it like here, right? So we should be doing a merger and another merger. Then cutter number 1, cutter number 2. Too close to itself. Because then the closest cutter here is a bit too... Okay, so we're just gonna do it like this. We'll place the merger, then we're gonna do the first cutter down here. And then the second cutter is going to go like that. That works. So now we're going to have one thing going this way. No, it doesn't work either. Okay. One more time. We're going to put a bit of a space here. We're going to go from the bottom. Then we're going to do... We're going to have a space to go down or up with the conveyor belts. Then we can have it like this. The second merger is going to be... here, let's say, or splitter, and this is gonna go like that. So now we're connected up. So we'll go like this. And the second one is gonna go like that. This will go like this, and the second one is gonna go straight through. Nice. Made that work. And now we're going to need additional cutters. So I'm thinking, let's place a merger and then a secondary cutter. So we can just keep this up essentially. No! Alright. Okay, now do tunnels. I don't want to do tunnels. I want to continue my weird build thing. Merger, cutter, merger, cutter. And now, what are we gonna get out? Wait, why didn't that cut again? That's strange. Out of this, I get a half thing. Okay, let's put a trash here just so we can see. Why does the second cutter not cut it? Does it have to be rotated before you cut it the second time? It might have to be rotated, so let's test this out again. We'll put the merger anyway. Actually, we might not be able to put the merger if you have to rotate it. So let's place a second cutter a bit further through. And if I do it like this, if I rotate you, are you then going to be able to get cut? That's what I want to know. Yes. Well, what if I rotate the thing from the top? Is that going to work or not? Yes. Okay, good. So it doesn't matter how it's cut, how it's rotated. It just has to be rotated somehow. So we're gonna stick to the merger, then we're gonna put a rotator, and then we're gonna put the secondary set of cutters. So all we have to do is put the cutters a bit further ahead. Wait, I'm just gonna check first if it works. It does. Good. Cutter, cutter, and rotators. And then we're gonna slowly merge it all upwards. So we're gonna need a merger. I'm thinking let's just put a one merger kind of up front, and then we're gonna have a secondary set of mergers once we kind of move up. So we could have like a merger here and a merger there, and then these two could move together in a merger like this, and then we're gonna put it all into, wait. Okay, sorry. He's like, no, I don't want to let you do what you want to do. Oh, this looks ugly. Let me just fix that. I don't want to waste the output, so we're just gonna have to go like this. Okay. Unfortunately, we seem to have merged a bit much because actually, is it getting stuck or is it just that we have a backlog? Unfortunately, not many of these are actually the right shape, but I think it's still worth it. I kind of like it. You know what? Maybe what if we didn't merge? If I didn't merge and I put you like this, would it? Yeah, they're both going to be filled up. We'll see after we get rid of the backlog whether actually it needs to or not. Because I think we have a lot of mergers in the way, so I think they might be slowing it down. So even though there's like a big backlog here with the splitting of the cutters, I think it's just all a bit slow. Yeah, because we're merging the two parts and then splitting them again, but this cutter has the same speed as this cutter, so essentially we're slowing the speed of this to half. So the fact that we kind of split it here is not going to make much difference. Yeah, okay, so we don't need the second one. Okay, so I'm just going to remove it. I wasn't sure, but yeah, it's just way too empty. Now this seems to be filled up like the right amount, I think. And I do like that we get all of these quarters, because I think we might need some other ones later. I mean, I hope so. We could try to rotate it, but yeah. Well, actually what we could do is we could rotate this one, because then it's like at least... Because previously we got like what did we get previously? Let me check it again. We got a bottom, left top. No, actually we seem to get all the parts. Yeah, so because of how we are merging everything, we actually get all the parts. So it doesn't seem... I was thinking maybe if I rotate it, I'll get more often the right top part, but actually it doesn't matter. Doesn't seem like it matters anyway. Interesting. The question, if I didn't merge you immediately, if I merged you a bit further ahead, would it be worth to add a rotator to one of these? Yeah, these... So the things on the top They still all do everything. It's because they get all the parts here. Even though it's rotated once, they still all do everything. I was thinking, you know, if I put a rotator here, is that going to somehow improve my chances of getting the right top corner? But it doesn't. It just doesn't. You'd have to merge this differently in order to get that result, but I don't really think it's worth our time, so I'm just gonna go back to this. I mean, okay, fine. Fine, I'll do it properly. Let's go back to this. But we're moving, which is pretty cool. Actually, I think this is a good time to end the episode, but I do want to tell you what's going to be later in the game. There's like a painters, so you can paint different things. Then later on, what you can do is you can actually combine different shapes. So we've only been doing circles and squares, which are quite basic, but you can find like these shapes like this, for example. And then later on you might do it, you get like half of this and half a square, and you get these like super crazy combinations. And then you can also merge items into each other, so you can have like a square or circle inside a square. And then the game is going to ask you like make a green circle inside a blue square and crazy things like that. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do in this game. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments, and you can click on the right to watch. I guess we don't really have a similar game to this, so you can watch like city building games. I'll see you there. Bye bye!